Hello everyone, welcome back. Tonight's video will be about the full moon for May 2020. The full moon is actually tomorrow morning at about 6:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's May 7th. This is also the third and final supermoon for 2020. Again, the supermoon means that the moon is actually closer to the Earth at this time because the orbit around the Earth is an actual oval, not really round. So there are times that it is closer. So it is larger in the sky and it is brighter in the sky. So that is actually true. And May's moon is called the flower moon for obvious reasons. It is because of everything blooming, all the flowers. And next month will be the strawberry moon. So each moon has a name. A lot of them are Native American, some of them are Farmer's Almanac, and then we actually have a combination where they kind of go in sync. So this is going to be a quick video. Tomorrow I'm not going to be posting because I'm doing my own work. So I just wanted to get in touch with everyone. And there's been lots of talk about this full moon bringing illumination on truths and secrets. That is from some of the astrology people that I follow on YouTube. I could post them in the link because there are some interesting things there. I don't know astrology as well as I used to, but this is something that is important to be aware of. Illumination of truths and secrets. However, just be aware not all of it is true. There's going to be a lot of deflecting. It's going to be probably until next year till we know for sure what the truths are. Be careful. Just be careful not to get too into the melodrama, the conspiracy theories, because remember, we are the co-creators of our reality, of our lives. So if you get over-focused on something, you might just make it manifest. And if it's something negative, we don't want that. We want the best outcome, the best timeline, the greater good for all of humanity, for Earth and all the beings, and for the universe and just everyone. So this is something to keep in mind because I've already heard some, and I'm not going to talk about them, but there's a few, and I'm surprised that's happening already because the full moon energies do come in a couple, like a day and a half or so before and then after the full moon. And as full moon is also in Gemini. Gemini is the sign of the twins. Do you know any Geminis? Because I do. I love them, but I have two, and it's like there actually is two people, and so this is important to remember. Which is true, which is false. So when you're hearing these things, remember, obviously everything always has a truth or false, right? But especially at this time, especially during this crisis and this unprecedented and crazy stuff that we're going through. So remember, don't dwell on it. Don't put your energy in it. Don't get upset by it. Don't spread it all over social media. Read it, detach from it. Knowledge is good. Energy and getting upset and attaching to it and spreading it, and try to step back, file it away. And then later you're like, oh, that's the truth. Because really, it doesn't really matter right now. I'm being told that at this time, we still need to focus on our individual healings, going inward, really finding our true selves during all of this. And remembering who we are, remembering that we are one. We're one family, one consciousness, remembering who you are at soul level. Our lives on this earth puts all kinds of distractions and we forget why we are here. Continue working on that. That is still true. This has been going on for a couple of moon cycles now, right? So I'm going to show you how to open your heart chakra with an exercise. I'm going to show you with something physical with that flower behind me. And this is more of a visualization that you're going to imagine in your head, but I'm just using it for you to see kind of what I'm talking about. So I also have my rose quartz hearts, which I pray with. I pray with this. When I do a prayer, I send my love to God and Goddess. I have that on my altar. So rose quartz is a good stone crystal to have for your heart chakra, for when you're working for love. Self-acceptance is so important. This is a part of remembering who you are. Growing up, you may have been taunted, teased, criticized. You need to love yourself from head to toe. Every bit, every little hair, every little white hair you may have, every little thing that you might have been told from a loved one or from a commercial or a magazine or a show or a friend or teased, wherever you heard it. These are not flaws. You are designed by the divine. You are meant to be everything, head to toe, every single thing. This is you. This is who you're meant to be. This is what you're meant to be. Love yourself. Love yourself and love others. Try to spread that word. If you have kids, spread that word to them. Never criticize yourself, especially in front of your kids, because they take that on. They learn from you. They learn from you. They learn from TV. They learn from their friends who learn from their parents and what they watch on TV and commercials and magazines. So we're going to open our heart chakra. We are going to be open to give and receive love from others, from ourselves, from God, divine, spirit, source, goddess. It is time. So, in case you ever wonder, my friend here, his name is Bob. He has I named him after a famous person, so I don't want to say his full name, but he does have a full name. I'd never just called him Bob. He has a full name, but I'll give you a hint. He worked on old houses in the 80s and then went to Sears commercials. Yes. I always like old things and antiques in my family and all that, but that's another story. Okay, so for this exercise, over your heart, okay, it's about where your heart chakra is. Now, the only problem with this is you have to imagine that this is closed. Imagine that this is closed, okay? So maybe I'll put this backwards for now, yes? Okay, so you imagine your heart chakra being a flower. I'm using a rose because rose for me means love. Use the flower for you that to you means love. Your heart chakra color is traditionally green. However, it is also viewed as pink sometimes. So I'm going to envision a pink rose. Okay, so we start. Envision. First, make sure you take your deep breaths. You get to your relaxed state. Get everything out of your mind. Be able to focus on this. Make sure you have quiet time. No kids, no animals, no TV, radio, etc. Okay. Imagine the closed flower. In my case, the rose. That is your heart chakra. It is a closed flower, a closed rose. I'm going to imagine it opening one petal at a time, very slowly. We're going to focus on every single petal. As it opens, I'm going to imagine what it would smell like. The smell of roses or whatever flower you are choosing. Okay, and you're going to imagine it being a beautiful, beautiful, strong, healthy, open flower. And then when you're done with that visualization, you got the open heart chakra flower, then say to yourself, my heart chakra is now open to both give and receive love from myself and from others, to love my life, to love planet Earth, Mother Earth, love from the divine, from source, from God, from Goddess. You just say what it is resonating with you. At the end, I always say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then however you close out prayers, you could do that. So that is my exercise for the flower full moon for May. I am going to do a very quick reading, and then I will be done for the night, and I will be back probably on Sunday. Okay, so for today's reading, I only did 2 cards per deck, and I'm using Moonology Oracle deck again for this full moon, and I'm using Earth Magic Oracle cards. These cards are always very direct with me, always, always, always. So I got interesting reading, and I'm gonna go in a little further on a personal note or personal thoughts, because it's coming up again. So I've heard this from other card readers about our current situation. Nothing is set in stone. There actually isn't a timeline, a set timeline. This is open. Anything can happen. So this is why I'm saying not to hold on to negative things. Be careful of what you're thinking about, because it is more open than you think it is. You are a co-creator. You can change the outcome. If you know anything about timelines, there are multiple timelines going on for everyone with different outcomes. Okay, so our current situation, our current crisis has no determined outcome yet, which is a scary thing, right? Because usually we look to the divine to get the answers when we're scared, but there is nothing set yet. This is a test for us to see what we're gonna do and what we consider important, what we put first, and how we treat each other. However, again, believe in the impossible, because again, we're the co-creators. Stay as positive as you can. Stay away from the news. I believe I've said this before. Stay away from the news. Get your head out of this constant dialogue of what's going on. Every time the name is said, it gives it power. Does that seem crazy? I don't think so, because that is a very old superstition that my Baba used to believe in, and so did her mom. So there's truth to that. And again, like I said, with the different timelines, let's get ourselves on the best timeline for everyone's greater good. The other cards eagle, communion, ancestors, generations. So we need to get back in touch, like I said, with divine, with Mother Earth, though, as well. Don't forget about the divine feminine. Mother Earth needs us. She is dying. We are in big trouble. Not everyone believes that, but it's true. Right now, she's healing, but if we all are let back out and life is normal, what's going to happen again? It's all going to come back. So get in touch with Mother Nature, even just with the divine. Wherever you resonate, this is a time to really form a relationship with the divine, with Source, with God, with Goddess, with Mother Earth, with Spirit. You need a personal relationship that's not just calling on them when you need something. This is having a relationship of give and take. Send them your love. Keep an open dialogue. You know, it wasn't crazy in the Old Testament or, you know, the Torah when people used to talk to God. And they can send you messages, whether it's you believe just dreams or if you see things outside, certain birds. My family believes that when we see a cardinal, it's my grandmother visiting. So a lot of people believe that. So this is the kind of thing I'm referring to. Now, the ancestors, generations, we need to think back on who came before us and what they went through, not only as a lesson, but draw on their strength. I think of my grandparents and all the stuff they went through, the Depression, World War I, World War II. My grandmother had all her brothers fighting in World War II. My grandfather was in World War II. Everyone was in World War II. Famous people. It was the end of the world. Think about that. And this is actually, speaking of World War II, this was the only other timeline I can think of that has come to my attention that was not fixed in stone, and that is the outcome of D-Day. The invasion, the Allied invasion of Normandy Beach, that outcome was not set in stone. It had multiple outcomes, and luckily it had a good one for us. But that's the only other one that I'm aware of, or that they have made me aware of, that was not set in stone. So you think about that, and I always think about all those boys, those men, and a lot of them were boys, teenagers, young teenagers, some of them too young. Think about all the people right now willing to sacrifice their lives for the greater good. And we have to believe in the impossible, because if we got through this crap in the past, we can do it again. And it has to be in our strength and in our hearts and in our beliefs. So that is where I'm going to leave it today. So try to be positive. I know things are hard. We are in this together. Remember, someone said, like, we're not all in the same boat, but we're all in the same fight. because everyone has different circumstances and different hardships. Like some people have to work through this. Some people can't, but really need to. Everyone has a different story and everyone has different needs. And when this is over, what do we want the history books to say? Were we there for one another? Did we fight for one another? Did we care for one another? So, don't want to leave this on a down note. So, deep breath. Believe in the impossible, because the impossible has been done. If you look at D-Day and what they actually had to figure out to get things right, it had to do with the moon phases, the tides, and they even had to figure out when Hitler was asleep, because his soldiers were afraid to wake him up. They didn't wake him up when it started. So, believe in the impossible. There is a way. There is always a way. Believe in miracles, if that's what you want to call it, but I think we can just do this. We can do this. So, love and light to you all, and blessings to you all. Good night.